In the end, you're going to take your glass cabachon that you put a pupil on with a Sharpie and put it over. So if you want to make that so you can test and see how it looks, you can do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue working on our dragon eye sculptures, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to make your irises. So first, you will have done your research on Google, done your Google slides, and then you'll do 3 sketches in your sketchbook, and then you're going to narrow your research down even more into really 2 specific kinds of dragon eyes that you might want to do. Then you're going to do 3 different irises to practice, and I'm going to show you how to do it. You can do more than just 3. I have lots of papers, and so you can do as many as you want until you're happy with the way that it looks. And then in the end, that's going to go inside your dragon eye. You might notice there's like a center here, and then all of the lines come out like spokes. Do you guys see that? So we've got kind of a light area in the middle, and then all the lines come out. And the reason it's light in the middle is that helps the pupil to show up, right? Like I could probably even have had a little bit more white on that side, but you want it to look sort of like there's white starburst behind it. So that's why we do that. So as you're drawing, think about that. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we said lime green, light blue, or light blue first and then lime green. What do you think? Light blue first and then lime green and then dark green, and then kind of this dark blue, like that? Okay, so we're gonna start with the blue. So instead of drawing a circle with pencil, which would maybe still show up, I'm just going to draw a circle with the light blue to remind myself that that's going to be all left white, right? And then I can also use this. First of all, I'm just going to kind of go like this, but remember I'm going out like bicycle spokes, right? So always going from the center out. That's called radial lines. Do you guys see how it's there, but right now it's a little bit too even? You guys see how it's real even? Yeah. We want it to be a little less even. So that means I'm going to go in and make some of the lines come in and some of the lines go out. Do you know what I mean by that? So you see how some parts are going out and some parts are coming in? So it's a little less even. That'll make it look a little bit more natural. You see that? Okay. So now I've got this sort of starburst with a nice empty white space, right? Then I'm going to switch to the green. And I'm going to do the same thing. So first I can just kind of go around the whole thing, but I'm overlapping the blue a little bit. But still going out from the center. Then I can take a few spikes into the blue. You see how I'm having a few spikes go in? Not a lot, just a little. You see that? Okay, then let's do the dark green. Again, kind of make our way around. Overlap a little bit with the other green, the light green. And then I'm going to take this darker green and spike into the other areas just a little bit. Can you see how my pencil, like, once in a while goes further in? And then I'll leave kind of a rough edge on the outside too. So far, you see that? And I might go in and darken this blue a little bit. Actually, I'll do it right now because I want it to show up a little bit more. Ooh. So I'm bringing this blue back into the green just a little bit to make it a little bit stand out more. All right, then this is just regular blue. And I'm filling it in all the way, but I'm still leaving this sort of scribble marks. But I'm still making sure all my lines point towards the middle. And then I'll take a few little spikes of the dark blue. Not a lot, just a little bit, so there's little hints pointing in there. You see how that's working so far? And then this is blue, but it's a little darker. Do the same thing. And then again, take a few spikes in, always reaching towards the center. Imagine there's sort of a dot in the middle. The last thing I'm going to do is the purple, and this is where we're going to fill it in solid first, but we don't want it to be smooth. Do you see how this is smooth right now? We don't want that to stay smooth, so we are going to make it look more natural in a second. So first fill it in so it's nice and solid and dark, but that's not the end. Then we got to make it look more natural because we don't want any smooth lines because our eyes don't have smooth rings on the inside. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to take the edge and just make it kind of rough. So I'm just kind of scribbling on the outside of the line. Can you see that? I'll do 1/2 so you can compare. And then take a little bit of the purple again and drag it out in there. So do you see how that side looks natural where this side looks like a line? Do you guys see that? See how that looks like a line, but that side looks more natural? Everybody see that? So I'm just going in and filling in this space, but extending the edges so that it's not a smooth line. So I'm kind of like doing the reverse of erasing, right? And then the last thing is I'll do a couple little points marking like a little bit of accent. Then I'm doing a few little of the dark marks from the outside in the light areas for contrast. And then who's got the cabochon? So then I added, do you guys see, I think this is important, you guys, to add a little bit of whatever your dark outside color is in the center for a little bit of contrast. That way the light area pops out even more. And then you check and see. But that looks pretty cool, huh? Yeah? So the dark purple, the question is, how does it contrast with the light? So first you have the light area, which looks cool. If you have something dark right on it, then it makes the light part look even lighter because the dark is contrasting with it. Does that make sense? So if you add that little accent of dark, then it will make the light part even more dynamic. And then when you put your cabochon with the pupil drawn on it on there, then it really shows up really well behind that. So that, I think those are some good tips and tricks. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. Leave them in the comments. I can do follow-up videos. Or if you are my student, you can come ask me in person. So have a great day. Let me know how it goes. And love ya. Bye. Yeah, that looks awesome, huh? Yeah, that looks great. So that is your demo. You can see that leaving that white area and then working from light out to darkest and then putting that extra dark on the outside and a little bit of dark accents in the middle really helps that to pop out and look like a super awesome eye. And so then I'll show you later how to glue it and cut it and then start using the model magic, okay?